Welcome to the How's Business Podcast. I'm your host, Dale Buchanan. Today we continue with part 3 of the sales training process. We've already covered building rapport, asking questions, asking more questions, and getting to the root of the customer's problem so that you can provide a solution. Now we have to talk about overcoming objections. Let me get something out of the way first. With anything in sales, there's always the percentage rule, and that is 33% of people are going to automatically buy what you're selling. 33% of people are never going to buy what you're selling. And 33% of the people are undecided. You can't do anything about the people that aren't going to buy. They've already made up their mind. They're window shopping. They're not serious buyers. Let them go. You don't have to do much of anything with the people who have already made up their mind to buy, oftentimes before they even contact you. So you can have those as your clients and move forward with proceeding with the agreement or contract or whatever it is that you're selling. The people in the middle are the ones that you need to focus on. These people are undecided. It's your job as a sales professional to get these people to make a decision. It doesn't matter if the decision is no or yes, but these people have a hard time making up their mind. And I run into a lot of people like this in the dog training industry. Here's what happens. Somebody contacts me, I go through their needs analysis, I go through finding out about their dog, asking a lot of questions. I tell them how I can solve their problem, present them my programs, and nothing. I get ghosted. I can try to contact them back. Some of them are going to say to me, I decided to go in another direction. Many of them are going to say nothing. And here's what happens with the people that are undecided. They've never hired a dog trainer before. They have no idea what it costs, and they are not going to hire anybody sometimes. Or they're just going to try to do it themselves because it's too expensive. They didn't expect it to be a high-ticket item for in-home dog training, especially if they bought a class or they attended a class with their dog previously. These people have a misconception of the value that I'm offering versus the price that I'm charging. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to try to convert those people very often that don't understand the value of what I'm offering. Overcoming objections is not about convincing somebody or persuading somebody. There are dangers in that. The dangers in trying to persuade or convince somebody to buy your service or product when they are reluctant is that they're going to come back with buyer's remorse, most likely, or if you're offering a service, they're going to be a bad client and complain nonstop. They're not going to leave you a great review. They're not going to be happy at the end because they feel like they spent too much money and they were expecting a miracle. That's not a good client. You have to be very careful of that. Overcoming objections is challenging because there's no one way to overcome an objection for all sales processes. In this episode, I am not going to give you objection handling specific ad copy. In this episode, I'm not going to give you objection handling script or exactly what to say or exactly how to handle it. What I want you to understand is that focusing on that middle 33% of people who cannot make up their mind, try to have them understand the value of your service and try to get them to come around, but be very gentle with them. Give them time to think and compare with other services or other products that you're offering. If you're selling cars, give them time to go to other car dealers and see which one's better. Oftentimes, if somebody's buying a car, they go to another car dealer. The car dealer doesn't offer great customer service. They're going to come back to you anyway if they like you. Give them that chance. It's like dating. You go on a date with somebody, They may want to go on a date with other people. Let them do that, because they're going to find out that those people weren't as good of a match as me. And they're going to come back, and then you can start a relationship. But if they don't come back, that's okay also. You move on and you find somebody that's more compatible. Sales and dating are very similar. You have to understand that not every prospect is a good fit for you. Just like in dating, not every person's a great match for the other person. It's something that you have to work towards, and you have to accept that rejection is a big part of sales. You're going to get rejected. If you can't handle rejection, you should not be in sales. I'm also an audiobook narrator. When I send auditions through ACX, which is the platform that we self-produce audiobooks, the rights holders or author will post information about hiring a narrator, producer, to narrate their audiobook. I send out 25 auditions, I get 1 or 2 books to narrate. That's a very bad percentage. And you got to understand that rejection gives you thick skin. To handle rejection gives you thick skin. You just learn to deal with it. And I've learned to deal with it in sales. When people call me for dog training, I get a small percentage of them as clients because I want the best clients. I don't want clients that are going to be hard to work with. So I'm screening them as much as they're screening me. Back to handling objections of those 33% of people who cannot make up their mind. Here are some things that you can do. One question you can ask them if they can't make up their mind is saying, what is it that's preventing you from moving forward? Or what is it that's preventing you from making a decision? They might say, I just want to check with some other companies and see what's the best fit for me. At that point, I would just mention to them, great, get back to me when you're ready. I'm always here. I'm not sure what I'll have available. I may only have 1 or 2 slots available, or there might be a waiting list. So I just want to let you know that because it's the busy season and I'm in high demand, that you might have to wait for my training. But right now I do have an opening on Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And I also have an opening on Friday morning at 10 o'clock. Another thing you can do is you can say, well, what's preventing you from moving forward right now? And they come back and say, it's out of our budget. I like to do this. What's your budget? With dog training in home in my area, the average cost per session is around $200. When someone comes back and they say, our budget is to spend $200 or $300, I say, oh, okay, no problem. I can't do 1 session for you because my programs are 8 to 16 sessions. But I can recommend a cheap dog trainer to you. And they really change at that point. I don't want a cheap dog trainer, they say. Well, what about a class where there's 4 or 5 dogs? That's about $150 to $200 if you go to a pet store. And then they come back and say, well, we tried that years ago, and that didn't work very well because my puppy didn't learn anything. And then I have to explain to them, there is a lot more value in in-home training because you're expediting the process with one-on-one coaching from me, and you're also getting a very good trainer with 239 5-star reviews on Google, many awards over the past several years of the best trainer in Huntsville. I've written many books, and I have Puppy Talk podcast. So you're getting somebody with a lot of expertise. But if you don't have the money to pay for that, I completely understand, and I can recommend somebody to you that's a lot less expensive, but they might not have the experience that I have. That changes their perception of the situation quite a bit. I've had many people at that point say, so if I invest in you, then I'll get better results. And I say, most likely. And they have a tendency to move forward with that. So I reframed it that if they spend less money, they're going to get a lesser quality trainer. If they spend more money, they're likely going to get a better quality trainer. This is usually the case in every industry, whether you're hiring an attorney or you're buying any type of automobile or you're shopping for a house or whatever you're buying, whatever you're doing, the more you spend, you get what you pay for. And a lot of times I will tell people that. But still, a good majority of them that can't make up the decision that I'm trying to not persuade, not convince, but find out why they can't make up their mind, a lot of them never make up their mind. They just don't hire a trainer because they don't see that it's going to solve their problem for the investment that they're putting in. So you have to be very observant about why people are not able to make a decision quickly. I will tell you this, the best customers I have, without question, are the ones that can make up their mind quickly. They usually make up their mind within an hour of talking to me on the phone. I send them an email, they sign up right away or that same day, and they move forward with the training immediately without hesitation. Those are always the best clients. Those are always the best people. Find those people. How can you find those people? Because what we're going to talk about right now is how to prevent objections from coming in the first place. This is the key to overcoming objections, is preventing objections. Here's some things that you can do to get top-rate clients that are going to make good decisions. 1, make sure your website has great ad copy. Make sure that everything is completely spelled out on there, that you are the premier #1 service provider in your area for whatever you do, and most likely they're going to get in their subconscious, this is not going to be cheap. 2, pre-screen everybody before you have a serious conversation with them by having them fill out an intake form on the website to see if you can even solve their problem. 50% of the people that come to my website and fill out an intake form, I cannot help right off the bat. So I email them and I gracefully say I'm not available and I'm going to offer a referral to them. For whatever reason, maybe their dog has some type of aggression that I can't help with, or they live out of my service area, or they have unrealistic expectations. I can tell this from an intake form. So I want to make sure that I'm going to have conversations with people that I know off the bat are going to be high-value clients and going to make decisions quickly. I hope this information helps you with overcoming objections in your sales process. I know I did not give you specifics of how to exactly overcome each objection. This is general information, and I can get into more specifics with one-on-one coaching. If you want to hire me, you can check out my website, huntsvillebusinesscoach.com. Have a great day.